Okay, and we're back to Unit Standard 15218, a formative activity K1. Quite an interesting activity, quite a big activity also. And I see they say here on flip chart, but you can also submit it on a PowerPoint or a Word document. So basically what we want to do is you must create as a project plan. And that's what STF is going to do. You know, when you got a client, you have to go out to the client, you have to see the client, you must come back, and then you must go back to the client and come back. And, you know, it costs him money every time there's traveling and time and up and down. So you must learn how to plan yourself to go to a client, get the information, come back, and the deal is done. So for this activity, we're going to pretend that you stay in Durban, beautiful city of KwaZulu-Natal. And we're going to send you to this company called the Shoebox Company based in Nelspruit. And there's only one flight. I see only one flight from Durban to Nelspruit. It leaves 8 o'clock in the morning and arrives 9 o'clock in Nelspruit. And I see there's only one flight also back from Nelspruit to Durban. So you will only be between 9 o'clock and 3 o'clock at Nelspruit. So minus traveling is about 5 hours that you will be in Nelspruit. No, you're going to see the Shoebox Company. I believe it's the first time that they participate into training. So there's totally new and but negative still about this. And your presentation to us must be a bit of a project management a plan. How can you go to Nelspruit only there 5 hours, get all the information, and make sure you on your plane back? Okay, so make this a bit more complicated. Now we see they in a Dropbox folder, they also give us a bit of an overview of the Shoebox Company. We can see the Shoebox Company pay 1% of the skills levies over to the Merciator. So I know there's an opportunity to get 20% back from their mandatory grant. Awesome. Merciator, I will have to go and Google the Merciator and see what scarce skills as yeah, because Merciator through the discretionary grant is only going to sponsor scarce skills. So I need to go and look for the opportunities there. And I can see the shoebox company also sells. They sell actually shoe boxes. Strange thing, but anyway, they sell shoe boxes to manufacturers South Africa, Namibia, region, and recently signed up a contract. Okay, there is opportunity for growth. So I know they're gonna expand. They're gonna require more people. We've got opportunity to train people up and promote them. You know, there's lots of opportunity. It's going to be training again. There are 1,500 employees working for this company, and that is our structure for this company. It's quite a big company. You've got 5 hours to go to every single department and to, get all the training needs from them. And I'm going to make it even a bit more complicated. Okay, so if you're going to go to a company and you speak to people in the department, we want to follow the gap analysis. Now, the gap analysis is here on the right hand side. It concentrate on the desired state where you want to be or where the company wants to be, and then the current state to check where are the employees on the moment. And then between the two, we can identify what is the actual gap or the bridge that we need to fill. So I always tell the story about David. David worked for the shoebox company. Very nice employee, excellent employee. You know, asked to work overtime. He's always willing to work, never complaints and stuff. So we decided to promote David to supervisor's position. And 3 months later, we want to fire David because he's useless. He can't schedule, he can't work with the computer, nothing. Now, who was wrong here, David or the company? The company was wrong because they promoted him without checking that he's got all the skills. And that's what's happening in every single company. That's why we have the desired state on the site. We need to find out where the company wants to be or what is required from that production line. And then we need to go and find out what the current employees actually know, what is the current problems in there, and then we can identify the actual training that's required. Okay, so What I will do if I was you, I would go to Nelspruit and I will have a meeting with these management, and I will explain to them how the gap analysis work. First find out your targets. Many times I go to a department and I ask them, do you have a job description? And they say no. And I think to myself, oops, you want me to tell you what's the problems in your company? Or I ask him, when last did you update the job description? And he says, oh no, that's been here from the start. That's already big problems. Or I go to the employee and I ask the employee, do you have a job description? He says to you, yes. And then he says to you, but what's in the job description is not what we do here. Okay, that's what we have problems. And so we need to talk about it, and I need to educate these department managers on how to do it. Now, you don't have to go and interview every single employee. You will never get through that. But we can sample some of the people and help them to identify the training needs. Also, on the Dropbox folder, you will see this document that we've issued, a very important document, and you're going to create your own one also. And it's nice, you can just give this to the company. I would email this to the shoebox company before the time and tell them to start preparing this information that they can get it ready before I even get to the shoebox company. So this year is going to be the organogram. It's going to, just to give you an overview of the company, and we're going to have the meeting to explain to them how to do the gap analysis. And this is going to help me with, the company targets to see what are they and where they also want to be. So it tells me about the Skills Development Act and the Skills Lever Act and some abbreviations at the bottom that ask for the company's mission and vision. Where do the company want to be, or where they want to grow to. Then we've got the company registration details here. Banking details, the 20% mandatory grant, the CETA wants proof where they're going to pay it into. Company organogram, that you can have a picture, or an image in your head on how the company is structured and how many departments you work through. Then we got the staff complement here. I want the numbers, the race group, the gender, the age, occupational levels. Now, remember, when we go to employment equity, then employment equity is not only about race, it's also about gender. So if we see that we don't have enough females in the company, then we want to increase or say, when we're going to save some females on training, give them preference over the males, because we got a shortage of senior females in our company. Also for BEE, that's going to help. Age groups here with 35. I want to also see how many people do they have under 35, because the CETAs only like to sponsor learnerships and apprenticeships and all these things, but only to people under 35. So yeah, this employment stats we're going to need. Training expenses, did they do anything during the year, or was there anything that they already identified? If they have an internal auditing department, I'm going to ask for the executive report to see what was identified there, what risk, occupational health and safety incidents, employment equity meeting, obviously, because we need to link it in with that. General recommendations from the board, executives and supervisors or management, problems identified. And then I want to skip here to the BE scoring. So normally you have a BE auditor and a BE manager, someone who comes into your company that gives you advice to increase your BE scoring. And I need to look at that, because if they say we can increase the BE scoring by doing learnerships, then I need to work it into my plan. And then I'm going to interview with the training attendance register. I always say, when you go to a company, they always tell you, listen here, we don't have training. We'll never do training in our company. So I always tell them the story about ShopRite. When you go to ShopRite on the Thursday morning, 8 o'clock, they always have the sign up by the door, only opening at 8:30 due to a staff meeting. Now, what do you do in the staff meeting? You do training. Conferences, what do you do in the conferences? It's training. So we should actually have attendance meetings, for meetings with staff, and all these things. Consultation is all training. and you know, I see a lot of big companies, when you go to a boardroom and stuff, they ask you to fill in the attendance register. So all those documents and stuff needs to come out. So that's how I would tackle it, because remember, you only got about 5.5 hours planned time in Nelspruit. So what I want to see from you as a document, a presentation, a flip chart, anything that you want to illustrate, how are you planning on going to Nelspruit? Get all the information from all 1,500 employees and all these different departments, and come back, be on the plane. And when you land in Durban, I'm sure that you got all the gaps. So you will tell me exactly what training is required for every single department. Quite a big activity, very interesting, and it's also how are you going to do it in real life. Guys, hope you have lots of fun with this.